It's with me again, Ibrahim Asonko, and today with me is your favorite, yours truly, Bubacarr Sidiqi Jammeh. As you know already, he's been here several times. He is as much my good friend as he is
Munga
almost my
came
nemesis.
twice. I've been several
As
times, man.
as he is my nemesis, because if you know anything about us, is we agree on a lot of things. We also disagree on a lot of things, but we're always willing to sit down, and he's always open to have dialogue with me. So it's always an honor to have him. Obviously, he's my big brother. You know, our relationship is not just today. He's one of the very first people who welcomed me here in Washington. So I'm always happy to share that. So, Bua, how are you doing, man? Maybe I'll fire him back a bit.
You say, I mean, Alcalo. I mean,
Yes, you're
you gotta put
definitely my
Alcalo part in
Akalo.
there.
You're definitely
The
my
former
Akalo, no
Alcalo.
problem. But I'm also your trainer, even though you've
I,
given
I
up
have
on
the, I
that.
have the, I have the, I have the Alcalo stamp. Training 2 days. You try to act all Superman and stuff. You don't know how to train people who are not fit. Anyway, it's good, guys. It's good to have you back again. Well, good to be back on the show again. Like you said, we have been I don't know a couple of times here, so it's always scintillating. And then you go and put your little clips and stuff.
Listen, Sonko said that's what always causes problem because I go and clip stuff, and when I clip them, they go viral. They
I
said,
I be
and
I be I be clipping mine too. Shit, when you clip, I clip. Because the areas that I also wanna, yeah, I also I clip mine too. You know what I mean?
I've been
So
thinking
yeah,
you
but
clip.
it's all part of enriching the public discourse, and as we're getting closer and closer to the, what do you call, the crunch time,
Yeah.
more of these will be out there, so it doesn't get all pretty all the time. Especially with me, I've made peace with myself. I don't, I just, yeah, put it out there, and
Yeah.
whoever feels comfortable with it, you feel are comfortable. If not, you move on to the next guy. So,
No,
but it's all, like I said, it's all love and no animosity, anything like that. So
actually, you've
it
been
comes with the
crossing it.
territory. Once you're in the
It
public
does.
eye, you just gotta take it. It's not always gonna come out as everybody wants it to. But at least you're gonna hear my side of my perspective of things, and then there'll be tens of hundreds of more other perspectives. So it's all part of it. So
No,
another one. Let's get to it. Yeah.
thank you very much. By the way, you've been doing a couple of interviews, and like I told you privately, I think you've been crossing them. I think there's always so much to gain from conversations and dialogues, especially dialogues that people have the ability to hear each other out and share our perspectives in hope that all of us can learn a thing or two from it. So thank you again for being here. And my hope is that we can begin the conversation around some of what we now know. Well, I don't know if you can hear me, but you're kind of frozen to me. Buba, Siddiq, Buba, I've lost you
Yes,
for a
I can
second.
hear
Hey,
you.
come on. Ha.
Yeah, game on, yeah.
Yes, yes. So I was saying I'm hoping conversation as it relates to the state of Gambian electricity power supply. Now, obviously, NAWEC situation is not something that started today. Some of us are young, but we know a little bit of history about it, and also just how NAWEC has been abysmally run for the last several decades in the Gambia. What is happening today is not, a single episode. It just doesn't happen like that. There are leadership failures that happen. There are issues of corruption that occurred. There are issues of maladministration. But also, most importantly, there are questions of lack of foresight in terms of being able to have the capacity and prepare in advance such that situations like this could be averted. So I thought we could begin from there. From a historical perspective, you're a little older than us. Why are we still, as a country, experiencing power outage, power failures? Why hasn't this not been anticipated, and we still continue to struggle with electricity? What is your understanding of what's happening?
Well, yeah, thank you for that opening question. I think it's a critical one, especially what we're all going through nowadays. If you're living in Gambia, you know, I don't care how rich you are or how secluded you think you are, or living in this um, affluent neighborhoods, everybody's getting their piece of the pie.
Yeah.
So it's a critical question, and in times like this, it's always good to give a little step back and give a little perspective, or give a little historical account of how we got here. Because what I believe in is that there's a saying in Mandinko, "Kwenye ibwete sanotombo." Like basically, if you stumble upon on a rock and fell and basically gold, don't always look at that gold. I mean, kind of go back and see where you basically you stumbled, and then
Mm-hmm. You brought it down.
it's always good to have that. Yeah. So Gambia's situation with the electricity thing. That's why it's always good for governments that are in power to set a precedence of communicating with your citizens on a truthful level. Start it at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know how to properly communicate to your citizens in a truthful manner, because people are not stupid. You might think, okay, we just voted for you. We know you don't deserve it, but we voted for you. You take us for granted. We are not. People are not
Mm-hmm.
stupid, so they'll always be listening. Set a precedence of truth. So when times like this happen, when tough times come, you can come back to the citizens and talk to them as adults, explain situations to them, and they'll be able to grasp it. This is not Barrow's doing per se, 100%. It's
Mm-hmm.
a historical effect, basically like a culminative effect of failures and lack of foresight and corruption and so many things that led us here.
Mm-hmm.
I would just kind of go back as far back as 10 years. 10 years. I don't want to dwell too much on the Jammeh era, but that 10 years will also include a little bit of Jammeh. Because I remember, I mean, you could vividly remember right after 2017 change, there was a protest that was going to happen in the country, actually happened, called Dafadoy, right? I think it was Dafadoy or something like that. One of those things led by Red Sam, the usual suspects, the killer aces, the Alubas and of the world, right? It
Yeah.
was about NAWEC in 2017. I remember it was around January, February. It wasn't even long enough into Barrow's administration that protest wanted to happen,
Mm-hmm.
because it was a very unbearable situation at that time. It was chaotic. Um, it was maybe at the scale of what we're witnessing, or very, very, very close. It
Mm-hmm.
might be the same or slightly severe or a little less severe, but is akin to what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the boys came out and protesting. So at that time, um, Baba Fatajo was the how to call it, the MD at the time. Baba Fatajo was the MD, and I think Fafa Sanya was the Minister of Energy at that moment, at that time. And they went to the population and then had a, you know, pretty, I would say credible explanations of why that was happening. What was happening at that time? I think generator number 6 or 7 or whatever that was at Kotu basically died, and then they were just failing here and there, like all over the place. I
Mm-hmm.
remember vividly Nani Juara at that time was not the MD, he was a sort of a junior at that time. Can you hear me properly, Mr.
Yes, yes, yes.
Ibrahim?
Loud and clear, Buba. Yes,
Yes.
I'm with you. I'm following.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Your video kind of froze, but it's okay.
Okay.
So
But you can see
um,
me, right?
I can see where it's frozen, but it'll probably, yeah. Now I can see it's
Okay.
fine. It's moving. So
Okay.
at that
Go
point,
ahead. Mm-hmm.
yeah, at that point, Nani Juara went on TV, and then Baba Fataja, I think they also had some explanations. What happened at that time was when Jammeh was in power, these machines that we had were very old machines. You're looking at, 40, 30-year-old machines. They need some level of preventive maintenance measures. And the importance of preventive maintenance cannot be overstated. Like, it is highly, highly critical when it comes to mechanical moving parts. I worked in the, sort of
Boeing. Mm-hmm.
in that
And
kind
this
of,
is your
not
this
in
is
that, yeah,
somewhat
yeah,
your this is somewhat your area too because of your engineering background.
yeah. We
Yeah.
dealt with a lot of these high level machines. Their preventive maintenance schedules this is very, very critical for any organization that has to do with machines and outputs that depends on mechanical movements of parts. These things need to be on a time. Even your vehicle, what did they tell you? They send you emails like, hey, you are nearing the 60,000
Yeah.
miles. Even though, yes, Tesla made that vehicle, or BMW, best engineers in Germany, they put the best technology in that machine, the 2026, 2025 BMW. But mind you, there's a reminder they will send you. They say change your oil, what, every 3,000 miles, every 4,000
Mhm.
miles, right? 5,000, depends on what kind of oil you use, synthetic or regular oil, right? Then 30,000 miles, you have to go for that maintenance.
Yeah.
60,000 miles, you have to go. 70,000, you have to go. The warranty that they give you, they sign off on the warranty, they give you a 5-year warranty, right? Is
Mhm.
contingent upon what? Upon you fulfilling your part of the bargain, taking
Mhm.
your vehicles for maintenance to make sure whatever the manufacturer thinks these things can last. If I'm putting a hydraulic pump, I'm for media, I'll come down, please. I tell you. So you'll see that the manufacturers, they will know how long these things are going to last, how long this bearing is going to last on that wasila machine, how long that hydraulic pump is going to last. They've calculated all this, and part of that also, it also helps you with anticipation. If you know that basically that hydraulic gear, or that basically that water pump for that machine has a lifespan of 2,000 hours, operating hours. So that's how machines are usually calculated. Then what do? It's called anticipation. Not just maintenance, but that part, you make sure you have 10 or 5 of those in stock. If you're gonna need three per part, you're gonna need at least 3 and an extra 3 again to have at least 2 cycles in case you put one in, one doesn't work because the country cannot wait. So what you do, you remove excuses. Gambians love excuses. We think God is gonna come here and then make us whatever. No, God is not gonna come back. Well, never gonna come here. He gives you brains to think and then to basically use your own intuition and then do the right things. You were told by the engineers these things are gonna fail within this. You don't wait until things are broken, then you go to Germany. That's where the corruption part comes in. They will deliberately sit here and know this thing's gonna fail, but the money that's involved in them procuring these parts at the last minute, it's called last mile delivery. It's even in America, that's gonna kill you. When we need something right now, oh, that's when the shipper's gonna be like, hey, yeah, I understand, buddy. Yeah, I'm gonna charge you about 25, 30% more than regular.
Yeah.
See? Okay, so there's a lot of corruption that gets involved in these parts breaking down and then having to go to Germany and France or whatever to go procure these parts. These are very old machines. Remember, they're 30, 40, 50-year-old machines. They are not the ones that are in circulation right now. So you stand a very tough chance to go find a specific manufacturer that is manufacturing these parts. And even if you do, it's gonna cost you because it's not it's not your regular shelf machines parts. They are like specifically made. So there's a lot of corruption that gets involved in this. Millions of dollars and dollars are getting siphoned just by this activity. So yes, that's number one. And then also the bigger part is knowing when to maintenance so you minimize your downtime. 2017, they said the NAWEC said the Yajame was not allowing them to go through these shutdowns, periodic shutdowns, periodic, not all the time. Let's say every 6 months, shut it down for 2, 3 days. People are gonna cry. Yeah, kurang amut, but it's just 3 days. But you rather have 3 days of yeah, kurang amut than 1 month, like we're seeing right now.
Yeah.
So, Yaya Jammeh, for some reason, was telling them not to do this kind of things. So Nawek was going through some external influence from State House, which shouldn't be done. Another failure on leadership. So that's what they explained. And then so when they came, Baba Farajo from Nigeria, who was not part of the NAWEC setup for a while, came with new ideas, was thinking like, as a sober man. He said, now what do I do? Let me now start from scratch, shut these things down, and then start many maintenance schedules, put maintenance, plans in place, and make sure from now on, we are not going back to the Yajami way of just running until they die. So that shutdowns caused that 2017 brouhaha, and then it resulted in a how to call it, a protest.
Mhm.
That's when 2017, because you keep hearing World Bank pump what, They say Gambia government received 400 and something million. I keep hearing from several commentators, Dr. Lyman is, Nyawur Koma the other day, and I think Jukasi said there's a lot of numbers there that are getting floated around, 400 and something million. Da, da, da. But I know for sure, right after that crisis, the World Bank pumped their first $90 million to go and procure new machines. They were going to get three. They were all Wasila. There's a brand called Wasila, WASILLA, whatever. They're like powerful. They came. I saw them when they came. They were like big thing. They put them on a truck. It was like a big fanfare rolling through. Some of them going to Brikama, some going to here, Kotu. So this was going to enhance our capacity to at least, I think those three are going to be like at least 60 megawatts. I think they're 30, 30, 30. So that will basically take us to at least 60 to 70% of our daily need. Remember, that's 10 years ago. Now it's 100 and something megawatts needed, right? That was our capacity. That's our required capacity now. Basically fulfill our national need. Okay, but this 10 years ago, it wasn't up to that. So 60 probably would have been 90%. So at that time. Okay, so yes, so we were on the path. Then the NAWEC rolled out their national energy plan that included solar, wind, blah blah blah. The whole Gambian fanfare. We are very good at writing stuff. Yeah. When it comes to plans, we have all kinds of plans. Yes. So there was an energy roadmap. It was a big fanfare. We all laid it out. This is the way we're gonna go. That 2017, by the end of it, car power came, and during that crisis also, that's when we started experimenting with Senelec. It's very critical. Around the 2017 time, we experimented with Senelec to do the North Bank. From Bara, Farafenye, yes, that corridor. Then we started hearing, Farafenye Farafenye started enjoying 24-hour electricity, Bara and Jarasoma. And then we are struggling in the combos because we are depending on NAWEC. So Senegal basically took off the top of NAWEC to ease their burden. Now they don't have to worry about Jarasoma and Mansakonko, whatever power station, that's generator failing every time. So that Senegal basically took that away from us. It was a good deal, I think. What the price they negotiated, I wasn't very sure, but I heard it's about 16 cents US, which is pretty high. Because the United States right now, your Seattle and Texas and many other countries, you are paying your rate is about 9 cents per kilowatts US. We, as we speak right now, I am buying the Casper I'm buying, your mom, everybody's buying. We are paying, if you calculate it into kilowatts, 24 cents.
That's twice more than what we're paying in Gambia.
America
In the
is
US.
9 cents.
Yeah. That's significant.
So a poor country with a GDP of million times lower than the United States, we are buying electricity twice or more than 3 times. About
but it's
3
similar
times
to
low price.
it's similar to what we're paying for, say, internet too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Senegal did that. So it kind of stabilized the country a little bit. So there was a semblance of stability. Again, we are very good at deluding ourselves. Gambians are very good at that. We are not the people that face reality and face it. We like to fool ourselves a lot. So that came. They went to Senegal, signed a deal. Macky Sall was happy about it. Blah blah blah. Fine. They took up the top. Not the whole country at that time. OMVG was not done yet. It was in the pipeline. The same OMVG they be singing about every day today. That was in the pipeline. Then immediately around 2018, I think, some Gambian businessmen came up with the idea of bringing Karpowership, the Turkish ship. I think this is the critical part we need to focus on. This is where NAWEC's financial woes, and I'll kind of do my best to explain. Maybe the audience will understand how we got into this hole. This businessman, I don't want to name names, but he's in Gambia, came up with the Karpowership. Karpowership in Senegal. They're in Senegal and they're doing well. They're still in Senegal since before Macky Sall. They're still there. Nothing happened to them. They are fine. The business model is not that bad. Okay? They're in Sierra Leone also. Sometimes they'll get in trouble. Sierra Leone government cannot pay them. They'll shut down their boat until they pay, and then so they go through back and forth. because Sierra Leone, they're very irresponsible. So it's like they have a lot of problems either too. So we signed up with they came to us to offer their services, and they were offering 30 megawatts. I told you when they bought the three new generators, we had about 60 megawatts, right?
Yeah.
So 30 was going to come from car power. Then that will basically take care of the urban need. About 100 is out there. We are basically home and dry. Okay? 30 megawatts was the deal. Listen very carefully here, because this is a fundamental flaw, a criminal offense that was committed against Gambian people. We didn't even know it happened. So this whatever business people, they came, they did their thing. Everybody get their cut. Some of them were getting $30,000 a month from the car power deal. Some of them were getting $25,000 a month. Another person was getting $25,000 a month. These are all close to the president. That was their deal. That was their cut. That was their commission from that deal. So they were hungry and they just swallowed. But this is what happened with the deal. We signed for 30 megawatts with car power. What we signed up for was production of the 30 megawatts. We never signed for them to distribute. That would have cost us 10 times more. Well, a lot more. What is our job? You produce your 30, I get the 30. Anytime I need it, I pump it through my lines to the NAWEC substation. Then it breaks down the 30 and distributes it to the homes. Car power producers, they don't distribute. Our fools at the time, I'll call them fools. I don't care what you want to, but this is just plain foolish. So at that point in time, we do not have the capacity to transmit the 30 megawatts from the ship. The transmission lines were not there. These were Jawara era transmission lines. Even Yahya Jammeh didn't develop those transmission lines. We had the same transmission and distribution lines, Jawara Jamano. 1994, when Yahya Jammeh came, there was no place called Brusubi. It was a bush. Entire Brusubi phase 1, phase 2 is non-existent. There was no place called Salaji, non-existent. There was no place called Oyundum. There was no place called Costa Road, 1994. I left here in 2001. When I left, there was no Brusubi. It was bush. Costa Road, there was no road. I was there when they were employing the first tractors are employing like Casilo Yele, Costa Road. There was nobody there. So, but you have the same distribution lines, Jamano or Jamano. Now you want to come in this modern era with Brusibis and, Sarengapatis, Sarepatis, and, Yunas, and all these places are full. Consuming what? Electricity.
Yeah.
They need distribution. The lines that we had at the time were for talenting, lifestyles are talenting. Once you go past, Tipagara, after Tipagara, I don't even go to Bakote. I've never been to Sukuta in my life since when I left Gambia. I don't know what is Sukuta. I've never seen it. It's bush. To me, we don't go there. Gunjur, you don't even think about Gujarat or other place. I'm serious. That is the same distribution lines you expect. In 2017, to take that 30 megawatts, obviously it couldn't. They could only take about 7, 5. I know this. I've seen numbers. I've talked to people, the head of Karpowership, that the country director, I see things that a lot of people don't see. They don't take more than 10. So you are paying $3.7 million a month. That's what we pay Karpower without fail. Taking that, on the premise that they are producing 30 megawatts, but it's not their job to distribute to you.
Wait, did you say $3.7 million or
$3.7 million, yes, dollars a month.
God.
Karpower, the whole time they were here. But it's not their job to distribute to me. So I'm buying $3.7 million worth of electricity. I'm taking 10 and taking that 10, that insufficient 10, selling it to the people. They buy cash power. They give me money, but they're only buying cash power of what they can use. So, but then that cash power, I have to now transform that money into dollar and pay cash power, pay
Mm-hmm.
car power for
Car
the
power.
30 that I'm not, yeah, for the 20 that I'm not even using. So my people are crying about it. I'm still paying the 30 from the small car power, cash power I'm getting from people. So you see the imbalance, you see the trade imbalance, right?
Yeah. Buba, are you here? Buba. Buba. I've lost Buba for a second. We'll try to get him back. Um, Thank you all for being here. Please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Dialectic Space Podcast. Um, and also all your notification on your on. That way you know when we're having conversations, you're the first to know as well. And those in the comments, Aisatu, thank you so much. Omar, thank you so much. Allah baraka back. Buba is back. Buba, muna kada call level don't come for. Even muting that.
No,
Okay,
I'm back. I'm
in
back.
Memo.
It's just
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Sorry, it's just
Yeah. So
I'm
so that
fluctuating between
balance,
I'm fluctuating between my
data and
home
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi and
Uh-huh.
yeah, because you sometimes I depend on official, but today they've been a bit shitty.
Yeah. But
So
I'm curious though. So what
I'm trying
happens
to
to
pay
that outstanding balance? That is left. What
in the
happens to
in
that?
the ship.
Yes, in the ship.
It stays there. It stays there. But the ship will always show you proof that they produce the 20, the 30. There's a metric I can see it. They'll always show you proof that they are producing the 30 megawatts. But you is up to you now to take the whole 30, take 20, take 15 if you want. It's not their job.
Mm-hmm.
So we had ministers, PhD holders, master degree holders. They keep saying Damajaga, Damajaga. You are sitting there staring at this contract. All you could say is, okay, sir, I don't mind this contract. I mean, it's okay. You want but I'm afraid I don't have the distribution lines to get this from the board to my people. So what do we do
Yeah.
here? Do we suspend
Mm-hmm.
it? Do we like put this on hold for now? Let me go find some money, pay a contractor to come and update my distribution and my transmission and distribution lines to modern standards that can take 100 megawatts. Right now, this line that they had in 2017, even if you put 20, it's gonna blow it. So you should have taken a pause. Like, hey, if you really care about the country, you have some fucking sorry. You have
It's
some.
okay.
That's why Gambia sometimes the less you
Daddy
know,
go kana
the
okay
less you know, the
language
better
of
it is.
yeah.
Sometimes the less you know, the better it is, because you
Mm-hmm.
get really angry, very fast.
Mm-hmm.
So um, what you would have done is say, okay, let's calm down. Let me go find some money, EU, whatever, World Bank. Let's lobby some money. Let's upgrade our distribution line. That way, anybody that comes, like at that 2017, if you come here with an investor, Ibrahim, to build 100 megawatt or 50 megawatt electricity solar plant, now you understand why are failing. Everybody comes to us failing. How many people have you heard since this change happened? The mother Yegu solar project, guy living. I hear everybody crying. And Sultan was crying. I'm like, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what's the real story. So so in those days, even if you bring 70 megawatts, you gotta produce at the solar farm, but you can't transmit. Gambians don't understand this. Most people don't understand this. Production is easy. You can produce whatever you want. But now, how do I get to my home and that factory? That
Yeah.
line. That is the problem.
Because
So
that is not
2017,
infrastructure.
2018, yeah, we weren't ready. Then, do you remember the Fatu Kodole, the TBA thing, the
Yes.
Fatu
Yes.
Baro 35?
Yes. The
Thank you.
35 million, I think, something like that. Yeah.
Where did that come from? It came from a company called TBA. 2018, They realize their mistake. They say, okay, we need to go and upgrade our lines,
Mhm.
our transmission and distribution lines, right? Then they started a bidding for it. That company from China, Tibia, was one of the people that are bidding for that contract. And they give their little croissant, and that became the scandal. But
Mhm.
they end up winning the contract. Today, last year, I think about 2 years ago, they finished their main distribution and transmission line here in Java that can take 150 megawatts. They have two main transmission lines, transmission and distribution stations. I've been there a couple of times with some people, business people, and they have one 75, 75, so 150. That's just about 2 years ago when that was ready. After we wasted almost 8 years of throwing money away,
Yeah.
take that power and use it. So now this one in Jabang that the TBA built, the one that gave the first lady that money, they won the contract. Now they built it. Now the OMVG can blow and then bring it to Jara Soma. Because when OMVG brings into Jara, it comes to Jara Soma. From Jara Soma to Jabang. Jabang can take 30, 50, boom, anything. And then Jabang will slow it down and then
Mhm.
distribute it at the minimal rate that your homes can take.
Yeah.
This is how distributions and transmission work. So that way you don't sit and then your whole appliances blow up on your face, right? Exactly. So now we have the infrastructure, but prior to that, we were just pissing money away like this, 3 point something $million every month. That's the financial side and the stupidity of the government.
Mhm.
We lost a lot of money, and now we started getting into a hole and a hole and a hole and a hole. Every month they have to pay $3.7 million cash. They don't pay no nonsense dollars. No dollar. Do you know how difficult is it to put even $1 million together in this country? It's a problem. So government was under constant stress. That also contributed to your problem when you send the money. They said that dollar was selling. Yeah, dollar was selling because the demand that dollar for 8 years was just too much.
Too high. Yeah.
Lately, people places like Wave, the corporate Wave was the one helping them gather the $3.something million and then paying NAWEC. So Wave is playing a great role in the background, helping this government pay our balance sheets when it comes to dollar. It's still
Yeah.
happening. So yeah, that is rescue have, but it put a lot of strain on dollar because now the demand is so high because one company is getting 3.7 million every month non-stop. So you, the trader, trying to buy containers to bring milk, bring sugar, you are scrambling. Where am I gonna get a dollar? You go anywhere to this guy to get a dollar, they say, "Oh, Nawek came here. Nawek
Mhm.
$700,000 for me. Nawek $700,000 to put together so they can get 3.7 million. So you, the one getting the potty meal, you one buying the Armanti mayonnaise, you the one buying the rice, you the one buying the small petrol here and there. You are struggling. Your dollar
Mhm.
rate is getting higher and higher, and prices are getting crazier and crazier because the more you pay for the dollar, you pass on the price to who? To me. Before you know, pig milk is $150. Hmm? So everything start getting skyrocketing. People understand. So the people that should tell you, the in government, the people that are so-called educated, went to whatever double masters, they're all liars. They wouldn't tell you that they're scared. They're all, I don't know, all beholden to somebody. So nobody's gonna explain the simple math to you. So that's why you see these prices going up, because the pressure on the dollar is just astronomical. People can't access dollar. I've seen people here, friends of mine, want to order something, bro. They'll call somebody in America, boy, can you send $50,000, $100,000 for me in China? Let me give you people here in Dallas. My brother helped a lot of people.
Mhm.
Few times he paid over $100,000 something dollars for people in China, and then he had Georgia in Dallas. Even though I'm my favor, but yeah, sometimes he has to do it for some people. So it's putting a huge strain on the government and the country. But you wouldn't know this thing. Nobody gonna tell you because nobody tells anything. Everybody just keep quiet, like God is gonna come here and do something. So that problem got solved well. So when Capo was doing that, Senegal started encoding more and more and giving more to the Gambia because they say it was cheap. And even the Nawi people that are saying it, they said it's cheaper to get it from ONVG. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, Bua.
Yeah, yeah. Even NAWEC was saying that they said it was getting cheaper. This is where the problem started getting more and more deeper. So we started getting into financial hole, but at the same time, Senegal started expanding their network into us more and more. The OMVG also came. So Gambia started thinking that it's cheaper to get from OMVG ready-made and come here, then or get from than to operate those machines we bought with World Bank money that I told you about. Remember those three I was talking
Yeah.
about, the one the
Hmm.
Brikama? They're all here.
Hmm.
Quite today, if you drive around, if I take you to Kotu, you can go and drive to Kotu and sit. You will hear nothing.
Hmm.
That's when Barrow came out and said, famously said, "Legi am nañ enough capacity. You facing generate facing machine." See what he didn't know
Hmm.
what he was saying. He says
Yeah.
something astronomically, basically so dangerous for us as a country, on a national security point of view. He didn't even realize what he was doing because they convinced him that these lazy people, these lazy technocrats, they convinced him that it's cheaper to get from Senegal and the OMVG and car power than to turn on our machines and produce, buy fuel, HFO fuel, and buy spare parts, blah blah blah, and keep the machines running. They say it's cheaper, so they'll shut down our machines and then just get from Senegal ready-made, lazy, and then OMVG and then car power. So we went on this autopilot, keeping slumber mode for almost the past 5 years, and we got accustomed to it, and our machines got shut down. You go to Koto, you don't hear anything. You go to Brikama, you don't hear anything. They're just sitting there collecting dust. Parts are getting spoiled, machines are getting corroded, and just lazy sitting there.
I guess people
I
are
think
also
what they
losing
should
their
have
job.
done,
Yeah.
yes, what they should have done, yes, you're not getting the cheap one from whatever. So the small savings you are doing, why don't you reinvest those machines instead of just basically sitting there? Why don't you just make sure they're on the, like, you do like an overhaul of the machines, maintenance
Hmm.
them, and make them brand new, buy brand new parts, buy extra, spare parts, get everything ready.
Hmm.
The fuel, the HFO, get it on stock, everything on stock. At least 40 to 60 megawatts of capacity at your disposal. Machines are ready to go today if you need it, and just put it on standby.
Yeah.
You don't shut it down and let it rot. You put it on standby. Make sure today, when Senegal say, "Crap," you have a geopolitical problem in Senegal or Guinea Conakry, Dumbias, all
Yeah.
of a sudden got up one day and say this, then boom, you can turn in your 60 or 70 or 50 immediately. You say,
How
"Hey,
about
my
this
country is."
almost? How about this almost 700 million Gambian dollars that they're requesting to buy more power from Senelec? Hopefully, we can get
I'll
there too. I like the yes. Go ahead.
that's the culminated. That's the end of it. That's the Masibo end.
Okay.
So right now, so the reason why Barrow was saying, then enough capacity and you shut down swing machine. He was saying this. I mean, he was trying to articulate this. They were getting cheap. That was the time for us to take advantage, upgrade our machines, spend a little money, getting them better, and then have 40 to 60 megawatts of like immediate electricity ready to go anytime. In case of any external issues, any geopolitical issues around your country, some president go crazy and shut you down, your country is not gonna go. It's not gonna go into darkness overnight. You tell your machines, boom, the country wouldn't feel any kind of pressure from outside. But what did they do? They neglected the machines. They are rotten. People that work there, everything's broken down. They get used to Senegal. Karpower left. They went and gave the maintenance operation contract of NAWEC after Karpower. They gave it to who? Papa Yusufanja. You know him, the guy that
Yes.
Unique Solution. What did
Hmm.
he know about electricity? What do you know about NAWEC? Nothing. He's the one that having that contract now. Then the HFO contract, the heavy fuel oil, they gave it to Barrow's business partner and financier of the MPP called Haji Baniko. So Haji Baniko was grumbling before. After the 2021 elections, he was grumbling. He said, "Hey, I spent all this money on your campaign, but I'm here now. Your machines are dead. Machines are not running. If the machines are not running, there's no HFO. The HFO fuel, the heavy fuel or the dark one, That's the bottom of the fuel level. You have diesel, you have petrol, diesel. This nyene duma taka finne. E ko use pruny machine. So Haji Baniko, Barrow's friend, the financier of MPP, is the one that had that contract. They took it away from the UDP guy called Alaji Conte. When Alaji Conte, UDP, when UDP, Barrow took it from him and kicked him out of the car power deal. Car power, Alaji Conte was one of the people that brought car power here, and he was getting the monthly thing. Barrow cut him off and gave it to his own people. And he also took the HFO fuel for NAWEC, the contract from him, and gave it to Haji Baneko, his guy. So after 2021, spending all this money, the machines are dead. Haji Baneko, hey, I gotta do something. I need my money. I gotta buy fuel. If I don't, if the machines are not running in NAWEC, I'm not making money. So they kick Karpow out to bring back NAWEC. So Haji Baneko keep his political campaign. I don't give a damn what. This is exactly what happened, because it was abruptly ended. The contract, because the first 5 years of Karpow was exhausted. They added another 7 years contract. And to everybody's surprised, like 7 years, they added 7 years, and abruptly 2025 July they cut it off. So everybody was like, "Oh, what's going on?" It was shock to everybody. Yes, this is shock. They needed their money. Papa Isfanjai now has to get the maintenance and operation. You know what that means? Millions and millions of dollars. Because that's when you deal with spare parts. Oh, this gear went like this. You have to replace the gear. We don't make it here. You have to get it from Germany. You have to travel to Germany. Go negotiate. Bring back. Express flight. It's an open door for. Yeah. Papa Isfanjai yakal wala. So Haji Baneko yafana yakal muna HFO. So they are trying to revive Kotu Power Station and Brikama Power Station to bring back electricity, own production. How far are they with that? I don't know. It doesn't seem very well, because we would have seen the effect by now. Through this crisis, we would have seen if they're actually up to standard or not, but they're here. So we made a strategic blunder. Our over-reliance on outside forces, outside sources of energy, and neglecting our own internal production. We became lazy, lack of foresight, and
terrible leadership.
Basically,
terrible leadership.
Yeah, terrible leadership and lack of patriotism, because national security is attached to electricity. There's a clear example of that happened in Mali. Mali, since independence, for 50-something years, Mali is a big country. Mali cannot rely on electricity generated by machines. I went to Mali. I spent about a month there. There's no way. Bamako alone will swallow Gambia like 10 times. They cannot rely on machines. They have to have a different type of electricity. And for years, for 20, 30 years, they were depending on the hydroelectricity dam from Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast hydroelectricity was powering Mali. Until the day the military government came. They kicked out IBK, the last democratically elected president. Coup d'etat, Hassimi Koita and his boys came. The French got irritated, whatever. And then there was an attempted coup at some point, allegedly sponsored by Ivory Coast. And the coup plotters were
internet
captured.
Is tripping. Okay, now
Ivory
it's
Coast
back.
demanded.
Okay, yeah. You're back. Your internet was tripping.
Let me go back. Yeah.
Okay.
So there was a false coup d'etat, sort of a coup d'etat attempt on Hassimi Koita, emanating allegedly from Ivory Coast by the French, whatever connection. Okay, and it was foiled. When it was foiled, Ivory Coast demanded their men. They claimed these are their men. They wanted Mali to repatriate them back, and Ivory Coast, Malians said no. So it became basically a diplomatic standoff between these two countries, and they severed all ties, all diplomatic ties. They don't use their ports anymore. That's where all their petrol is coming from, where Gambia and Senegal. Their food, Gambia and Senegal, everything. Ivory Coast shut off. And then Ivory Coast, what did they do? They just shut down their electricity. Because if you want to kill a country, the fastest way to buy a country is electricity. Mali went to a crisis. I went to Mali. If you get up in the morning, you have you have 4 hours electricity that day. You should be celebrating. At night, everybody's doing generator everywhere. They are suffering because Mali is too big. They cannot survive on electricity generated by machines. So hydroelectricity dam was the best one for them. Because of diplomatic faux pas, diplomatic fallout with Ivory Coast, this can happen to any country. Don't ever feel comfortable as a country that you will be sitting here and not ever have a diplomatic deal with another country. As long as you are a sovereign country, your interest and that another sovereign country's interest will never ever be like a twin. This whole bullshit about Gambia, Senegal, backing Bopa is all nonsense. I never bought into it. And if you are smart, you never buy into that kind of stuff. When countries are sovereign countries, they don't give a damn. Like, you can die. Like, Senegal will take care of their people before they even think about you. If there's a crisis of electricity, they'll feed their people first before they give you a dime, a single drop of kilowatts. Yeah. Thereby, you see, wait until it's about national security, you'll know if it's thereby or not. That's what Mali. If you look at Mali and Ivory Coast is, look at Alassane Ouattara is Malian. Like, literally, me, my mom, and my mom's family, whatever, they're all in Ivory Coast, Malians and stuff like that. So, they are like this. But when it came to sovereignty, diplomatic row happened, they cut it off. Mali is struggling. Even today, they are struggling.
I mean, Jammeh and Wad both understood that recently in our history. I don't think that's also new. So that puts a lot in perspective.
So this is a clear example why you should not play with electricity. Do whatever you can to control hydroelectricity lambang, solar lambang, whatever it is. At least 90%, 70% of your power, keep it within indoors, in-house.
Yeah. So fast forward to now.
So now, when the Iraq war happened, yes. So when the Iraq war happened, basically there's a crisis, and then that crisis accumulated with Senegal going through a financial. Senegal. See, a lot of people are not going to tell you. They said, "Is the Iraq war?" Yes, Iran war happened. There's a machine. There's a specific power station in Senegal that's not functioning. That's basically reduced almost 70%. I have my friends there. They tell me this. So there's a reduction in Senegalese power production. Their people are not feeling it yet. They're probably not going to feel it because they have different sources. They still have Karpower. They still have the solar plants that the Millennium Challenge, whatever the United States government gave them years ago. So they have but enough to sell to other countries is going to be a challenge. But it also coincided with a financial crisis that's happening in Senegal during the Sonko administration. Maybe now it will start changing, because the West have turned their back on Sonko.
I mean, it happened before.
Ideology
I think they inherited most of it. It's been something that's been happening.
No. Sonko. Well, I think Sonko is my guy, but there's some kind of a mess up thing. They came and declared, they exposed certain hidden debts. They call it hidden debts, debt cache, whatever. That became a problem because when Michael left, he told it. Well, they thought their debt to GDP ratio about 70%. Debt to GDP, like how much you make. GDP,
I know.
Exactly. It turned out to be 130%.
Yes.
So overly beyond.
I've read the report.
If you go, yes, they went and exposed that. Should they have done that? That's debatable. So now you live with morality and blah blah blah, suffering of the people. Can we take the kind of shock? Do we just keep quietly handle it? Internally, work it out, whatever. But it also turned out. These are things that we need to also Gambians need to look at very clearly, because it can happen to us. So what I came to understand was that most of the debt that they were saying is hidden debt was not actually hidden debt. The government of Maki sort of direct government borrowing, they went out to a point that it was a bit exhausted. So they started going to SOEs, state-owned enterprises, like Senela, like the Sonagos, all of these things. And
like how Jammeh would
they have
a
very good they have very good financial standings. So they take loans. So Sonacos will go and take a loan. Like the GM whatever. Something. Exactly. They have a good financial standing. So they went and take loans. So when they took those loans, it was guaranteed by the state. as a guarantor. So the state is not the real entity that's taking the loan.
Hmm.
It's the SOEs, but they are guaranteed, called sovereign guarantees by the state. With
Hmm.
Gambia, 2017 they banned us from doing that. When the IMF came, they said no more sovereign guarantee. So we don't get to do that now. They stopped that. Even
Hmm.
if let's say Saro wants to take a loan or Gambia wants to take a loan, Gambia government cannot guarantee it.
As
That's
society,
because
no.
IMF
Yeah.
is
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, IMF is on our neck right now. We can't really mess up. Makisala had a good rapport with the World Bank. He was like, he was their guy. So everything was going
Yeah.
through. So these loans, even though you, the government, didn't take it, but if Gamtel took it, you guaranteed them technically it's your loan. Because something happened with Gamtel, what's going to happen? We, the government, is going to take care of that loan. Like we saw
Yeah.
with NAWEC when they
Hmm.
kicking out Karpower. What did they do? $19 million. Who paid for that? You remember that scandal
Yes.
the finance minister said, "Oh, it was paid by blah blah." I said, "No, you paid it. Where did you pay it?" We forced them to come and tell us where they paid it. It came out that it was from central bank. Government guaranteed it to give it to SOE. So where government was basically bailing out an SOE, which wouldn't happen. See, so these are the kind of dangers that Senegal are in. So they are going through financial crisis, and one of the SOEs is of course Senelec. We owe them, I don't know how many, almost $1 billion is
Yeah.
900 something million. We pay sometimes IG, but it's always around the end. Macky Sall time he used to negotiate and help us out, But now Senegal's the one this guy is in place. They don't care. You have to pay their money. You gotta pay their money, or they'll cut it off. So it's part of one of the reasons why we are seeing is the reduction in the electricity is because, so now they came out with a press statement. They said they are seeking $661 million from the government approval to go and do a contingency plan for 50 days. They'll
Hmm.
buy the 660, they'll sell it, they'll generate something, and they'll take something $300 something million in loan loss. They're very clear. They're gonna make a loss. But I believe maybe it's about also paying some debts. They don't want to name the debt. They don't want to say we owe, but un suspect wala wala bikering. So
Hmm.
now
You
the
think
question
there's more
is,
going on?
we are
Hmm.
yes, but the question is now we are in the middle of the year. We spent basically half of our budget already. Where are we going to lose magic $600 million and give it to NAWEC? That's the question we all need to look at in the next couple of months or in the next month and see if it's done. If it's paid, where did you get the money from? Was it a budget line, or was it from central bank, or you took a loan? Let's see, because that's not small money, and it was not
Yeah.
budgeted, right? Was it? No. Last budget speech, it
No.
was not there. So this money
Yeah.
we're spending in the middle of the year, as we are getting closer to the most difficult years of the government spending, where all the budgets are running dry. So you want to lose another 661 million and then add it on to this thing. So it's a very interesting time. Let's all see how that ends. But this is my analysis of NAWEC,
Yeah.
how we got here, and the historical context of mismanagement, corruption. Because that Carpower thing, I think that was corruption. You don't have the
Yeah.
distribution lines. Why are you signing a 30 megawatts contract when you know you cannot distribute and use that 30? Simple common sense. Let the contract go for now. Invest on your distribution lines. Then you can come back and do solar, do wind, do whatever you want. Knowing
Yeah.
that yes, whatever I produce, I can use it, I can send it, I can sell it.
Mhm.
It's common sense. Thank you.
Buba, we've spent about an hour getting into the
Wow.
history. And yes, just I think you did such a brilliant job to put a lot of things into context for people to understand. Look, what's happening today is not a result of just one single incident. There are several things that are connected to what we're seeing. So I thought that was important. But my last question, and we can move away from the power crisis in the Gambia, is certainly the government of the Gambia and the president, Adam Barrow, must be aware of just the effect that this has on the lives of the people, but also on them politically, bearing in mind that election is just at the corner in December.
Yeah.
And iko alabika kuja, okay, I'm not a prophet, but you could also tell what to do. When Jammeh was about to leave, there was just so many connected things that were happening. There were signs all over the place. right? And it doesn't matter what you do, how much money you spend. It becomes so
Mhm,
evident that you've lost control of what's
mhm,
happening. So, in that respect,
mhm.
politically, what are you seeing? And do you think there is any way at all, even with this 700, almost 700 million government dollars, which is not budgeted, that they're requesting to have, is there any chance at all that they could reverse course when it comes to electricity? Because it doesn't look like they're looking for a long-term fix. They're just looking for a short-term fix. Move this to December, before December, to tell people that, look, in fact,
Yeah,
a crown with liability, because that's
yeah,
what they do. And then we get into December in hope that they get people to vote for them. What politically, how do you see this playing out?
that's a brilliant take right there. Uh, Especially the fact that when Jama was going, everything started
I'm losing
basically.
you,
It's like a
Buba. I'm
ripple. It's
losing
like a
you.
basically like a domino
Yes,
effect.
Buba.
Everything just falling in line,
Buba, I'm
and you
losing
can't
you.
really reverse it. But
Buba, I'm losing you.
on the electricity,
For some
yes, can
reason,
you hear
your
me?
internet. I can hear you, but it's too slow, and your internet, your
Okay,
camera is not.
okay,
Yeah,
mud. Let me. Okay, okay.
Buba.
But is it back now?
Yes, you're back now. Please proceed.
Yeah, yeah. But okay, okay. Sorry. Yeah, yeah. So I said, yeah, that's a good take right there. The way you put it out there, like when the time is near, like when Jammeh's last days, everything was just happening. You can't really control. It's like everything's just getting out of hand. The rains, the drainage system, da da da. So, but on this particular thing, this particular electricity thing, but they also see the same thing you're saying, the political effects of this. Um, they are counting on something. See, this 50-day window, we're in what? We're in June, middle of, well, tail end of June, right?
Hmm.
July, August. So July, August, the Futajalon Highlands, where the OMVG comes from, they've been going through a crisis since around April. Drought. The rains are not, so the water is not pumping at a high level as the required electricity at the OMVG level. Yes, it coincided with Senegal's financial crisis and the Iran war, where they couldn't get enough power, enough electricity to enough oil to power their machines to be at 100% to be able to supply us anything we need. Senegal's going through that, but another issue is that the OMVG is not pumping as it should because of the drought. So August, even in Gambia, even though Guinea has more rain than us, but even in Gambia, August is like the month of rain and water everywhere. So naturally, the production from the OMVG is going to pick up around July end to August, and it will stabilize the supply that we were getting that's coming through Jarasoma. I think that's part of the issue that they're banking on.
Hmm.
That's why the 660 something million dollars is 61, sorry, um, which is phenomenal and basically I've never heard them go through this kind of thing. So, and the specific 50-day thing is pointing to August, September. There's a chance it will start coming back to normal. Hopefully, the war would have subsided at that time. Oil prices are now falling below what, 70 $75 now per barrel.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
Senegal will probably go back to normal again, and OMVG will go. So there's an expectation that it could improve by August, September, and they will go and brag and say yes, because already they started his last meeting in Brikama. He said everything's in place. Like and for him, when the technicians feed him with some information, sometimes he doesn't know how to digest this information and how to like basically use it. So it became very simplistic. Oh yeah, no, it doesn't work like that. What's gonna happen basically with the rains? They'll probably start having. So the Senegalese thing, whatever they're gonna buy now, it's gonna be very expensive because they're also going through a financial crunch. So that will
Hmm.
be a stopgap. But nothing here is systematically, basically trying to cure our disease. It's all a stopgap, and is in line with this government's penchant fooling Gambians and basically drawing us in and then giving us some false hopes. And they think this government, the government is about lying to the people. That's so it's in line with that. So I think on the electricity part, they might have some relief around August, and that will
Okay.
fall into this election time, and they can brag and say, yeah. But you never know. Yeah, day in politics is a long time, so a lot of things can happen. But this is what I'm thinking is going to happen, and this is what they're banking on, unless some other issues happen that we don't foresee.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, the issue of electricity is so interwoven with other national security questions, as you so brilliantly
Mhm.
put it. And which one of the issues that you and I, we argue about and disagree on is the issue of individual safety and just how porous our borders are in terms of foreigners just coming to the Gambia. I hate using that term, but I think it's also
Yes.
is the reality is there's a question of
Yep.
people just coming to Gambia a lot, and part of the people that are coming in, some of them are committing crimes, but that's also everywhere in the world. I think generally we can all agree that the net benefits of immigration outweighs the negatives of it. So I'm also interested to ask you again to the issue of why everything is just most things are just so bad is more or less safety and security is a big issue. People don't feel safe individually. Buba Findi, even worry like whether somebody is going to attack you to ask for your wallet. Even in your own household, sometimes people don't feel safe. And also, the national documentations are so easy for people to access, right? So, I'm also curious to ask you about that. Like, why do you think there is not that intentionality for the government to do something about safety besides just your position, which is government is not going to do anything about it because they want these people to come and vote?
Yep.
So you can talk to us a little bit about that as well, please.
Yeah, I think, and I'm glad you brought this up, even though it's a sensitive topic, but I
Yeah.
like your bravery about it. Because a lot of people want to shy away from it, and I am not this kind of people. I've traveled around the world. I'm an immigrant. I was an immigrant, and I still see myself as one. I've been through the system and benefited from it as a young man at the age of 19. Until whatever in my 40s. So I you can't really lecture me with about immigration and how it works. I lived in America, and I see what immigration is, what immigration control looks like, and the reasoning behind immigration control systems. It has always to do with social effects. School systems. How much can we take? Um, America doesn't shy away from this, and most countries, Germany, everywhere, nobody is shying away from this because uh, you have to know who you are. When America is approving it H1 whatever H1 B1 visas for Indian workers and stuff like that, they'll call them. They'll say Indian workers, right? From Gujarat, whatever. They'll even call the city name. Yeah. So there's a need for it, and they will say we are approving this much amount for this much because we want the American citizens, okay, not to be basically disenfranchised. And we are opening this gate. We are opening this much visa. The lottery visa, they have a number. They know we can take this. They've looked at their system. They looked at the healthcare system from Texas to Maine, the entire 50 states. They can know what states can handle, what they cannot handle, what Texas can handle, what Colorado can handle. They'll know, and they are not going to be foolish enough to say, "Oh, I'm just an." America is the melting pot of the world. We are as immigrant country as anywhere around. Nobody owns America. I know that. Everybody came from the Germans to the British, in waves, of course, time and time. But the reality of America, or the way the immigration system is set up, they take into consideration what we can handle, what we cannot handle.
Hmm.
They just open the gate and just everybody rush in. Look what when Jan happened, Guatemala, sorry, the Nicaragua happened. You saw what happened in Seattle, right?
Yeah.
You were running in the streets. Something that you've never seen in Seattle. People going and loitering around. How to call it? Home Depot. Senegalese people telling you, like people just going crazy. New York, it was all over the place. That's not America. Homeless shelters were filled up in the wintertime. They don't know where to put them. Texas had to put them in buses and send them to something that you've never seen in America, Ibrahim. Texas how to put them in buses and send them to New York because they say the New York senators were the liberal senators, they were allowing these guys in, so let them go and deal with the problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you call us racist? You don't call them racist. You don't call them anti-American, like no, they're not anti-immigrant. Texas is all immigrants. Even the immigrants themselves are suffering because now the people, the Mexicans that are in Texas that are depending on these shelters sometimes. So they are poor people. They depend on shelters. They depend on help to buy electricity. In the poverty, their funds are all running out. Nobody's preparing for it. So you have economic growth and immigration control has to go together. Gambia's case, I'm not even talking about that. Now let's come back to Gambia. Nobody's ever sat here and said, oh, we need to control our because the jobs are blah, blah, blah. We need to blah, blah, blah because our hospitals, even though I know what's happening at the hospitals, you go to Jarasoma, there's no medicine. Why? Because when we do elections, we give voters card to everybody, right? Around Dongoroba, or Digante, all right, that are, around us, customers. We give them voters card to go and vote. You think they are stupid? No. They get the voters card, they say they want to go to North. When we caught the guy, our team caught another guy here in Latria, we asked him, why are you seeking this fake birth certificate to get the birth certificate, the voters card? You know what she told us? She said, my husband told me, let me get the source. My dumb. Madam Nos. Oh, so my government is subsidizing my healthcare for millions and millions of dollars. You left your government in Guinea Conakry, and you come here to take my free healthcare. Basically, it's free. How much do you pay? $10, $20, right? You think you'll pay $10 in America to see a doctor? No. There's
But
a
it's
reason why you
also
pay
similar though.
$10.
But it's also similar to, say, for example, people that come to the United States and come here for giving birth.
Give
That's
birth.
America is one of the
Yes, and the
yes,
cheapest
America is one
system.
of the few countries, and on top of that, there are parts of American community that want that to stop because they do not want people to
Yes,
come from their countries to come
but
and
it's still
benefit
it's
from it.
still a crime though.
What do you mean?
If they
What do you
catch
mean?
you,
It's still?
what if they catch you? What do they do? They cancel your visa.
I mean, now it is, but I mean, there is a growing conversation about. The point I'm trying to make is the fact that I think
Yeah.
sometimes, generally, we can all admit that, look, legal immigration everywhere is permissible as a gross benefit to it.
No, no,
And
no.
generally, as well, even if people who are undocumented, generally, I mean, because they still work, right? And they still contribute
Yeah, yeah.
significantly
Well,
to the
they
economy.
find
We can
they
have,
find ways to survive. Yes.
and that's my point. So it's not any different from somebody from either Senegal or Casamas or somewhere coming to Gambia and benefit from, say, in Jarasoma, the healthcare system, when that availability is there. But it should not be done to the exclusion of the Gambian people.
No, no, no. What I'm saying,
Hmm.
I'm not saying they just come here and then benefit. Let's say they come here with their legal whatever their document
Yeah.
they come in together and then they go and get
Hmm.
because your alien card to Banjul Lopitan, you pay the alien fee. But the reason why
Yeah.
you paying the $50 is you as a Gambian or $10, $20, whatever it's called. My government is taking my taxpayer money and subsidizing that, making that available for me, not for Senegalese
Hmm.
citizens. This is a fact. But let's leave all that
Yeah.
together. That's all happening. They're using our hospitals. They're here setting up businesses of forex. If you go to here, Westfield, you drive in a nice car, you hear pss, pss, pss. All you hear, pss, pss. You stop them, they have a bag, right, with dollars. Yes, and you flip, they give you, say, $100, the $100 for you.
Hmm.
Go to Dubai. I went to Dubai. I had dollar in my hand. Dollar. I want to go and change dollar to dirham. Dude, do you know what they asked me? My own dollar, not like so I want to buy a dollar from. No, no, no.
Yeah.
Me have the dollar
Hmm.
to go and change
Hmm.
into their money. They say, "Where's your passport? Where is your visa? Where is your hotel reservation? Where's your receipt that you are living in that hotel?
Hmm.
And then where's the hotel phone number?" They'll call just to make sure you are here in a hotel. You are here for business. You are gonna go back home
Yeah.
just to change $100. Go to Senegal, whether you're gonna hear. Go to Sierra Leone. Go to you don't see this in any other. I travel around West Africa a lot. Guinea Conakry. No, you're not gonna see that there. They control because this dollar is national security. Very dangerous. Playing with it like that. We're here. We gave it all away. Not Gambians. 99% are all Guineans. Okay, so we gave everything that we have in this country, the bread industry, everything we have. For years, it's been like this. Nobody said anything. Nobody complained until we started seeing an uptick
But why do
in
you? But
violent
why do you
crimes.
say we give it away? What does that mean? Can you qualify that when you say we give it away?
What are we doing about it? We didn't control anything. What did you control? The only two governments that are
Yeah, but
controlling anything here is Mohammed Jah.
and that's
That's it.
yes,
Only
I
Mohammed Jah.
agree. But
Everybody else is
like when you say we give it up, like Gambians could do that too. We're not doing it. I think that's also general. Like if you come to elsewhere, I think
yeah, do it and
ma-
see. We can't do anything because, like I said, we are here. We are only consumers. Everything.
it's
The
true.
construction
Yes.
industry is now Benin one now. Benin.
Mhm.
The construction, it used to be Senegal. Now the Benin people are taken from Senegal. It used to be Senegal and Guinea-Bissau. Now it's Benin one. Big
But
building. That see
it's
that
also a
diploma.
fact. It's also a fact that there is specific level of I think professional orientation that most immigrants would have everywhere. If you come to the
No,
United
I
States, the tech
understand.
area. No, let me make the point. Is the tech is the Indians and the Asians
Yeah.
and generally, Americans generally, don't do. You know what I'm saying? And so Gambia is not any
Yeah.
different, or other places around the world as well. So everywhere you go, there are specific kind of jobs that nationals wouldn't do, and foreign nationals generally do those things.
Yes.
But you know what I'm saying? So sort of a country, even though it's not explicit, you give up that because you think that this is for a specific
Yeah.
group of people that by default they just do those kind of things. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's problematic.
But yeah. But the point I'm trying to say is
Hmm.
we open our country to that level.
Okay.
We are the most welcoming in West Africa I've seen. From my travels, Mauritania. I just came from Mauritania about 2 months
Hmm.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go try anything like that and stuff. So we gave everything. We are the best at welcoming these people. I mean, for foreigners from West Africa.
Hmm.
But after 2017, we've seen
An uptick.
2017
Hmm.
2018, yeah, we
Hmm.
high uptick. Even though I never cared about all that. You can come, but then the crime level, the types of drugs that are entering here, Kush, the Kush, that the one
I
that
agree.
they
Yep.
put their tongue,
Yep.
they want to swallow their
Yes.
tongue.
Hmm.
All we knew here was marijuana. Marijuana, maybe pills here and there, whatever, but I know more. That's what we know. Now, and that's coming from Sierra Leone. It was so bad in Sierra Leone that the government had to pass a state of emergency for Kush in Sierra Leone.
Yeah, that
It
shit
was
is
passed
bad.
by the government. It was that bad. It was that much of a national security problem. Now it's here, Gambia. They bring it here. See? So we started seeing killings, murders, and cold-blooded, blah blah blah, stabbings and all kinds of stuff. And then it's natural for some of us who have the courage to point this out. Hey, this is happening. It's getting a little too much. We don't mind you here. You do whatever you want. You control us anyway. Our food, our electricity, everything is you. Our forex, everything is you. Our money, the rice, you know, go to Picton Street. All the potting mill you see, Ramanti, everything. Nothing. We don't own anything. All we own here is Mohammed Jah. After Mohammed Jah is finished, we
Yeah.
don't own anything. You
Yeah,
know,
I think it's
Jim Beck,
also
you used to know.
to your point. It's also a leadership problem because there could be much more policy intentionality to make sure we Gambians are able to be economic drivers of those things and empower our youth and population to do those things. While we do not seclude immigrants, they can do what they. But Gambian Ulufanang, we can take ownership of that. But
Yeah,
that has to do with policy.
that
Mansakundara
is
posi falke.
policy. That it has to be a deliberate policy. But I wasn't
Yeah,
even dwelling on that. I don't
yeah,
care because I know I'm the people I'm talking to. I don't want to waste my time. Those people I'll talk until the cows come home. They're not gonna listen to me. But
yeah,
I just focus on my security. I don't care, but I know they will never help us to basically get control of our business, our forex. I know the corruption. I know the cartel behind. I know look what happened to the NAWEC finance director that was caught on radio talking to
yeah.
an Indian telling Lala father what should I put on the invoice. You heard all that. The Indian
Yes,
the Indian cartel here is going in is like the procurement corruption with the Indians is on a
yeah.
different level. See,
And
so
pharmaceuticals,
but I
all of
didn't
it.
waste my time trying to advise
Yeah,
government on that. All I said,
yeah,
please, when I go to sleep, yeah, so pharmaceutical use care, whatever,
yeah.
care, whatever visa.
Hmm.
All I'm asking them, take all that stuff from. But when I go to sleep, I want to sleep. I don't end up like Eso Nyasi. Get
Yeah.
up in the morning in my house. Somebody just come and find me there and then stab me. And then that's all I'm asking for you. Give my voters card away. Fine. Get them whatever you want. But now the last thing I want from you is protect me. Check who is coming into my country, control my borders, check their alliance certificates, make sure they are living in homes, make sure those homeowners are not harboring criminals, find ways to penalize homeowners that are deliberately harboring
Urban
criminals. You live in
criminals,
a house,
yes.
you say you have this, exactly. Find ways, mechanisms to control crime and these killings and things like that. That's all I care. That's all I talked about. And everybody was all these people, xenophobic, blah blah blah, da, da, da. I didn't care because me, I stopped caring about Gambians, their nonsense talks for a long time because I know they don't know any better. Most of these people, they're the same people that have been going through the same mistakes, same problems for 50 goddamn years, and nobody's having any solution. So I don't listen to you. Okay, I'm gonna talk until whoever listens, fine. Whoever takes it, fine. Until I have
Yeah.
some kind of power or some kind of a leverage in government that we can implement changes that are gonna, it's very simple. You go to Kololi Tavern tonight. Just drive to there. You will feel like
I know
you're living
Sal.
in a different, yeah.
Sal made a good
So
post
so
about
so
it a few
so
days ago. Sal
all of
Tal.
these people,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, all of these people are coming from homes.
Mm-hmm.
You build a house, you build a home. You want to make it a rental home. When in America, when you apply, what do they do? You do your application. They check your what, your social security. What do they do? Background check.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't America just say, okay, Ibrahim, yes, you got your money, right? You got your 2 month for a 3 month,
Down payment.
three
Mm-hmm.
months, what do you call
Or
it?
deposit, yeah.
Down payment.
Deposit.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you got a job. Okay, let me see your paycheck. Okay, you got a job. We don't even check jobs here anymore because there's no jobs, right? Everybody just hustling. So fine, but you they'll check your back. I don't care how nice you look, how professional you look, necktie. No, they'll still check your background check. Check the day you came here. What did you do? Have you ever done a shoplifting? Like, sorry. Anyway, have you done?
I can't believe you said that.
Anyway, but they'll check your no,
Yo,
they'll check your record. And if you're a
yo.
pedophile, what do they do? Like what do we do? Like if you're a pedophile, what do? You go register, right? So the apartment owner will know you're a
Mhm.
pedophile. The message will be sent to every resident, right? That hey, there's Mr. James Smith on apartment 1005. He's a pedophile, so
Mhm.
you better watch your kids.
Yeah,
Everybody, we know. But
yeah,
here, you have an apartment. You say you're a homeowner. Everybody comes in. Killers,
yeah,
drug dealers, pedophiles,
yeah,
rapists, everybody just come. They just come like sheep and go. And then
yeah,
now you expect me. So why not work with homeowners? Hey, we say this is your house.
yeah,
Okay, I get it. It's your responsibility. If this and this go and sell that kush to somebody, like kid that you, Mr. Patanjai, will be responsible.
yeah,
If Patanjai is having that in his head, very soon you see a lot of empty houses, a lot of people going back home who have no business being here.
yeah,
The painters, the missionaries, the bread bakers, they are not going nowhere. The people at Jimpex selling spare parts, they are not. They will stay. They will find homes to stay, safe homes, clean homes, buy houses here, get married here, and integrate. But when I tell that homeowner, if anybody commits a crime in your house, if you cannot identify them, you are going to mile two. That guy will clean his house and we make sure
yeah.
whoever is renting in his house, a la birth certificate, a la category, a la police report, how do you call it, character certificate of character from any country he came from, you all have it. And the Interpol system should be in tune with this.
Yeah.
Then we can at least have some. There has to be
Regular
something. You can't just let
semblance.
it.
Yes.
A country cannot be a sewage.
Yeah.
I keep
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. No,
I
I'm
keep using
100%.
the analogy of
Yeah.
what the Gambia is
Mhm.
now the sewage of West Africa. Look at
Yeah.
the backway thing, the backway phenomenon. Senegal is
Hmm.
here, right? They are closer to
Yeah.
Morocco, right?
Hmm.
Sorry, they are closer to
Mauritania. Hmm.
Spain. Why are
Yeah.
they going from Senegal, coming down to Gambia and taking a boat at Jinak? You
Yeah.
should be closer, right? Dakar,
Yeah.
boom, Mauritania,
Hmm.
and then before
Hmm.
you go. But Senegal, they have what they call Dinkendo Lebije. They don't have stupid institutions. The people are ready to work,
Hmm.
so they'll come to where kër boo xam ne amul kilifa.
I
Koda
know. I'm a
Koda
Clifford.
Alfanton. Ah,
Yeah. And
so
I
that's what
agree,
you are.
Buba.
You
Yeah.
are a sewage,
Mhm.
attracting
I,
everything.
I'm,
So
I'm
let's
with
fix
you.
this.
I'm absolutely with you. I think all of those things, and because this is so important, and there is an incoming immigration bill apparently that the government, for the first time, is working on, which
Okay.
hopefully it regulates what sort of immigration policy that we have and how we regulate what sort of people are coming to the Gambia. But the point I was gonna make
Mhm.
is I agree with you. I think you raise very important points. And Dolby, we can all agree that look, we care about who comes to our country. If you're coming to our country to commit crimes, we care about that.
Mhm.
But also, even if you live in the Gambia legally, we want to make sure you get what you deserve. But we don't
Mhm.
want to give all of the most important parts of our Gambian economy to outsiders. Nobody does that. There are significant dangers to that. There has to be some level of balance such that critical parts of our economy also comes from Gambians, not just through remittances, but Gambians owning businesses and investments and stuff in the Gambia, especially the youths, right?
Mhm.
But the danger
Mhm.
of that is in most places, which I've seen you also talk about, is ning cool for nang wati do, that's how it starts. Most people don't see, if people struggle, there is economic problems, people don't have jobs, baluo koleada. What ends up happening, we try to look at who is on the other side to sort of victimize and hold responsible, just like we see in South Africa. And that's the danger of it.
Yep.
And so that's why I feel like as much as there is that we highlight these issues, these problems that we have with our borders, with our national documentation, it's also like, okay, maybe at state level, Mansakunda should start doing something like about this, such that we don't get to a place where
Mhm.
Gambino started standing up Puriya
Okay. Okay.
Foko, such that we don't get to a place where government starts standing up behalf of immigrants are the problem, and that's going to be bad.
No,
That's my biggest
I
worry.
don't believe. I don't
No,
believe.
I don't think we are there. I don't think we're there. I don't think we are going
Because
to be
no,
there.
if you look at the arguments, it's
Hmm.
mostly the first time you hear this, you ever heard these arguments, it has to do with crime.
Yeah.
We will hear this like all these existing conditions that I tell you about, the economic conditions that taking over the business, blah blah. This been happening since before we were born.
Yes.
Never is nobody like it never bothered us, right? We just
Hmm.
we became numb to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Government, I don't trust government to do anything about it. I don't want to waste my
Yes.
time until I get a chance probably to be in government. Then I can try to propose new ideas and trying to integrate. Like Senegal, if you open a business in Senegal, I
Hmm.
think as a foreigner, you get about, I don't know, 60 something, 60-40. You
Yes.
always have to have Senegalese partner. That
Hmm.
basically made a lot of Senegalese millionaires increase their knowledge base, skills transfer, because you come with a solar plant business, your partner is going to be a Senegalese,
Hmm.
whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
You want to open like a foreign factory making bread, like a flour factory, or like a armantified factory or mayonnaise factory, Senegalese partners.
Hmm.
Then you all grow together. Immediately, millionaires started popping in Senegal. That's why you go to Senegal, you see a bunch of young kids, young boys my age, millionaires, bro. I go
Yeah.
to Senegal every time I come back here, I get depressed because it's no,
No.
because it's system.
Yeah.
There's enough companies to go around, and enough CEOs and deputy partners, partners and partners and partners. So you made me a partner to a cement factory. I have my 10 people that I'm going to bring along, CEOs, financial officers, chief operating officers, maintenance department, blah blah blah. I'm creating 10 more people to be millionaires in a couple of years.
Hmm.
But here, you come from wherever you come from, Curacao or whatever. You set up a business today.
Yeah.
You own everything. Your employees are dogs.
Yeah.
They talk and say, "Hey, shut up! I'm the
And I
boss."
saw this. I saw this wild thing that. Well, it's not even wild. I guess it makes sense. Modcase is the trade comments that he made said the government of the Gambia do not have any capacity or do not intend to have any market price control. So essentially, Mansakunda kan tola ni Mansakunda. I don't. Yeah, he actually said the Standard newspaper reported it that people can
Yeah,
just wake up today. He said the market will
and
control
I can do
itself.
anything.
Yeah, and just do
Yeah.
anything. He said the market will control
You can
itself. They
literally
have
come from
no
anywhere
plans.
today and go to some roadside and open a store, and then that's it. Just like, but like I said, this is just the Gambian by nature. Just like what you and I are talking about. 90, well, I would say 80% of Gambians are not even saying this. We are killing ourselves. We are trying to fight for them. They don't even know it's happening to them. They are too preoccupied with getting Dawal. The average Gambian is too preoccupied with poverty has our 100% daily focus about Dawalo. What I'm gonna feed my family today,
Mhm.
not tomorrow, not 1 month down the line. So people, oh, Gambian don't have vision. This is the ripple effect of poverty. There's so much poverty. People are so squeezed.
Yeah.
Everybody's thinking about Dawal. So you and I, we have some luxury. I can sit here. I don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
But the average person, don't have time to be thinking about what you're thinking, unless you start traveling and start seeing things and be like, oh wow, okay. But this is it. So government wise, I wouldn't waste my time trying to talk too much. That's why all I ask them is for my security. Please make sure I'm safe. Whatever it is, we'll deal with it later. I'm sure there'll be a time we'll have a smart government, a sane president who can read documents, who has traveled before, seen how the world works, is not shy to go meet investors outside and talk to them, is not shy to go to Silicon Valley and talk to investors, tell them, hey, come to Gambia. I can be your call center destination. I'm the same time zone with you. I have a youth population, all speaking English. You don't have to pick up a full phone call here and then. How may I help you, sir? Can I? You welcome to AT&T. All that stuff. You're gonna hear like, beautiful English. you
Yeah.
know, do your software development jobs here. My country's young. Everything's. I give you tax breaks, whatever you want. I'll give you jaro somebody. The whole of entire jaro. You make it your own little tax. Like a tech city. All we were just like this. Then you come. I give you a partner. I'll make Sonko your partner. Sonko is a millionaire by overnight without doing nothing. Sonko also create another millionaire somewhere. This we until we get right now. I'm not wasting my time because who am I talking to? Who? Dr. Sisa? Arambaro? No. So I'm not wasting my
It's so
time on
funny.
that.
Yeah.
What I can
Yeah.
do right now is probably tell them, please don't let people come here and kill me. Don't
Mhm.
let Kush come here. Don't make Kololi Taban a hell, a living hell on earth.
Yeah. Yeah. But don't even
Okay,
make also
please.
Gambians kill other Gambians because that's another problem. If people are unemployed, Molman Baluman Sonia, all of
Yeah,
those
yeah,
things
yeah, yeah.
become connected
Yeah.
factors
It's
to
the economic
crimes.
part of it.
You know what I'm saying? So even that is a problem. But Buba, another thing, I feel like we've sort of talked about two issues. The third issue I want to talk to you about, which because obviously you're now in the Gambia, you've been in the Gambia for years now, and you're very connected. Silolu, this man Sakunda credit itself a lot in terms of being transformative when it comes to infrastructure. Now we've seen the rainy
Yeah,
season has finally arrived, and we've seen the roads is as unfortunate as it is damning, considering the
yeah.
amount of money spent in some of these roads. What are you seeing, and why do you think this unfortunate reality is happening? Silol did that, but GLB if I can,
I
it's
think
crazy. Mhm.
I think Barrow's the past 7 years of Barrow's presidency, his uh, obsession with roads needs to be studied because he came here in 2017, 2018. Boom, he went on that Hadingai Banjul Road Rehabilitation Project,
Mhm.
which was okay. It's not a um, the whatever what Barrow is doing when it comes to infrastructure. This is not a it's not a isolated it's not an isolated how to call it scenario. It
Mhm.
happens a lot in countries that are very good at stealing public money because roads are the easiest and non-technical way of stealing money. You don't really have to be very, very smart. You don't have to be like a financial engineer, like I'd call it a financial jungler to be able to, cook books and stuff like that. Roads are very easy to make a lot of money, to make millions. He has, prior to him becoming president, I don't think he has ever researched any other country that is making like building roads. I've done my good fair amount of research. I've researched countries like South Africa. I've researched on Ghana when they were building that Kumasi whatever road. I've I checked a lot of countries with different resources. Some have basalt, some don't have basalt, and then the price ranges that I'm seeing are not anywhere near what Gambian prices look like. Often you will hear him quote like $1 million, 1 kilometer. Ndela silo do je 25 wala nanya silandi want his the small roads like the city
Yeah.
roads. He said he's spending
Mhm.
$25 million. It's about 340, 200, almost $380 million. Sorry, thousand. $280,000 per kilometer. When Ghana were building the from for Tamana, there's a thing in the big road in Ghana, and they were using mostly concrete, basalt. It was average about $250,000 per kilometer. These guys came here and convinced the entire country, because a lot of people don't know any better, that they are spending $1 million per kilometer. I said, okay, fine. Then I gave him $100 million to make the Battle Harding Highway, 23 kilometers from Airport Johnson to Sting Corner, 23 kilometers, $100 million. It was supposed to have about 3 or 4 flyovers. It had about one, no, two. Now, at the end of the 2 years after, they said they want to add another one. And then the lateral roads, that's the main highway. So the side roads that's supposed to be concrete and they exhausted the money. That was never done. Last year, they said they contacted another $30 million to do the side roads. That was supposed to be part of the $100 million. Now they have another 30 to do the side roads and added another overpass right by my house here, Sura German traffic light. Gambia, they didn't take the whole country. It's like everybody's injected with opium. We don't even know what's going on. $100 million was spent on 23 kilometers of road here. Another 30 was added for lateral roads. That was the first crime. Then they went and added the Pavi Ford, this Guinean, Sierra Leonean company. They gave him the side roads. If you see the side, I wish one day, like even today, I passed them. If you see this Pavi Ford, these people, they like the kind of work they're doing. They those phone call, like if you're doing like a rahilo, the phone call through well.
Mm-hmm.
See that thing when you're doing like a rahilo, if you do like a basically like a wall plastering,
Mm-hmm.
that thing that you hold like that, like that's what they're literally using today. I just passed them to pave the side roads. I sat there and I watched these people. I'm like, wow, okay. So this is the $25 million per kilometer. Sorry, $25 million per kilometer. What he's talking about. So what I can tell you, after Barrow, these things will come out, and you will know there will be audits. But this is I think this is gonna be the largest transfer of public money to private hands in our history. We were crying about the Banjul project that went to 35. It was started at $35 million. It went to $40 million, about $2 billion. It was supposed to be a PPP. Hardinger was supposed to fix it. We pay him in 10 years. Dude was paid in two. He started in 2018, I think, 19, before the election, before 2021 election, he was paid his whole money. Something that we should have paid for 10 years. So the amount of corruption and gaslighting of the people and just focusing on roads and roads and roads, that's all he talks about. Like this country, there's no other development agenda here. We're not building data centers. We are not training, we are not investing in, training like the new batch of, tech giants, to compete in the tech industry. We are not building tourism industry. Tourism industry is basically dead. No investments, nothing. It's just the same thing. You come to Senegambia, you sleep, and then you go on the beach and go home. There's nothing. Everywhere is dead.
Yeah, the
Focusing on
hospitals
only
were
one
building
thing.
without beds
Yes,
and medications.
yes. All you care about is roads, because all of these other sectors, is very little money to eat. When it comes to medical procurement, medicine, what are you going to do? Because you're dealing with international companies in Norway, in England and other places, highly respectable countries. You cannot do this thing. So what do? You bring roads, and then that road, what do you never give that road contract to reputable British companies or European companies. No, you take a company called Areski, some so-called Algerian, Algerian, whatever, Senegalese company, been struggling in Senegal for a long time. You plug them from nowhere and then give them the contract. Now look at Araski now. They are building a 5-star hotel right here behind the Senegambia, Sarola Conference Center, right at the front, the beachfront. And they're also building another luxury apartment and by next to Gem Waterfront. Oh, laugh at all. Anyways,
I know. We're
so
almost there.
yeah,
Yeah.
I could see the voltage dropping. So
Yeah.
so I think it's a massive corruption project. What's
Hmm.
happened, because nobody can justify $100 million in 23 kilometers. Even your Seattle, imagine that kind of money. Like, bro, 23
Yeah.
kilometers. $100 million OIC money. So
Crazy.
about 2 years ago too, they went and took another $75 million loan from Afri Exim Bank to do this same road construction. Afri Exim. So you remember when I posted the petrol thing, the petrol pricing in Gambia,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
price structure I kept saying NRA is getting $8 per liters.
Hmm.
You remember because I broke
Yes,
it
I
down
do.
like I was.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
So NIA will get 8, VAT $11 is duty $3, blah blah. So that $8 NIA money. When I did the maths, we are consuming what 16 million liters a month in Gambia. That's our
Hmm.
average consumption. 16,000 metric tons, that's 60 million liters. You multiply every liter by 8, it's $128 million. Sorry, dollars per month
Hmm.
going to NRA. When I did the maths for the year, it was 20 point something, about 20.1 something $million from that $8 per liter for the year. I say NRA, when is the last time because all these roads you're hearing about, it's all OIC money, right? I said, NRA, when have you guys built even 1 kilometer of road here that we can see? So I'm like, where are you spending this $20 million? It's about $1.7 billion every year that you're collecting. It's right there. You can't cheat it. Every time you go to the pump, you pump, $8 is gone. So when I questioned where the money was going, I got called by one of the guys in the government. Oh, yeah, it might understand. Okay, make me understand. I want to know. Tell me.
Hmm.
So yeah, so that NRA money is the one that we are using to pay the Agri Exim Bank loan we took for $75 million. I'm like, what? I'm like, hold on. So we took a loan for 75 million.
You're using one loan to furnish
No
another loan.
country. No.
That's crazy.
Actually, no. This is a levy.
Yeah.
The NRA $8 is a levy. It's a tax, sort of.
Hmm.
It's a levy
Okay.
to pay for something. So instead
Hmm.
of taking that $20 million and then building roads, 1 point something billion every year, you can
Hmm.
make about at least 5, 7, 10 our own money. You don't have to
Okay.
take any OIC money. So when I asked them where is roads, why aren't you spending this money on me? They say, oh no, I understand. So 2 years ago, Volta and Jana, 75 million Volta after Exim Bank. So Mbolo Joka. Okay, hold on. So my country took a loan from Afri Exim Bank. If you know how countries work, no country is going to take a loan you're going to pay in 5 years. It's 10, 15, 20, or 30 sometimes.
Hmm.
Countries don't take small like this, like you and I take a loan and we pay. No. It's usually a long time loan. 5, 10 or more. 15, 20. So I said, okay, fine. So you took 75 million, you charging me $8 per liter. That's about $20 million a year. So you want to tell me I'm paying that guy, Afri Exim Bank, I'm paying them in 3 years or 3.5 years. 20, 20, 20, 60, right? 15, 75,000. So 3.5 years, I'm paying that loan off. Does that make sense to you?
No.
Which country takes a loan that you're gonna pay in 3, 4, 5 years? No.
Yeah. That's scary.
So where is this $20 million going? These are not fiction. These are happening. These are real things. You can go. This month again, in just July, I'm gonna get again. I'll get the price breakdown. I'll take
Hmm.
it again. I'll post it again for all to see. I've been posting it since May. Sorry, since April. No, sorry, March. I've been posting it. March, April, May, June. The $8 is consistent. $8 is NRA. Even your vehicle license. Every year you go and pay that thing, right? The vehicle for. Thank you. The road tax, right? If you don't pay, the
Road
police
tax.
pull you
Yeah.
over. Do you know they're
Hmm.
double taxing you? How many Gambians know that? So after you pay this, right? So on the fuel levy, $1.20 bututs. No, sorry. $2 is $2 every liter is going to your fuel. So it's a levy that attached to your vehicle that you
Road tax.
paying
Yeah.
every year. If you don't pay, the police pull you over. So you are getting taxed or levied every day that you buy fuel for the next year. for 12 months. Every day, every liter, $2 is gone. $2, $2, $2 until the year ends. It's all embedded in that fuel prices. GRA, customs and excise. So there's excise tax for $3. Then they came again, same GRA, $3 and 80 budus for duty. So okay, so you done? No, I'm not done yet. Oh, we're gonna take another VAT on you. VAT $11. So $11 is 80 something budus. $3 is 75 budus. All go to GRA. It's all part of your fuel prices. So every time I go to the fuel, oh yeah, how much essence? You pay everybody. You just sitting like a sucker. You just sitting there like a machine. You know, NRA, give me $8. VAT, give me 11. Oh, NRA, give me GRA, give me that. GRA, everybody take it. $1 fee for there's a thing called processing fee. Processing. I'm like, what are you processing? It's right there, $1.
Yeah.
That's $16 million per month. So somebody's getting the money. I don't know. maybe
Who?
like that could be anybody's money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's
so $20 million dollars is going to NRA every year according to the current NRA level. $8 is Gambians don't know where the money is going. Again, roads. So roads are the issues probably why Barrow probably gonna go to prison, and many of his people, because we cannot let this go. What happened with this OIC $100 million is what's happening with the NRA. There's a lot of things. These things cannot just go like that, and we cannot. Gambians need to stop and thinking that yes, if everything start jalaing, when are we gonna start being serious about life?
True.
Somebody has to set a precedent somewhere. This cannot continue.
Yeah. In terms of continuation,
there's so much damage that's been happening to this country. The average Gambian have no clue. We just see poverty happening around us. Oh yeah, but
yeah. Buwe Kamwela, man.
Yeah.
I've lost you for a second again. Buwe Kamwela.
Can you hear me?
Buba.
Ikamwela?
Sidik. Nke mwela bari mbike jere.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm back now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Yeah, Gamma. Let me switch to how about now?
Okay, but jara ita kiyang internet please.
Can you hear me now?
Buba. Anyway, we'll try to have Buba back and have the final bit of the conversation on change. So stick around, please, and subscribe to our YouTube as well. Let's see if Buba gets back. Okay, he's back, I think. Buba. Madunga Buba Jibewa quickly. Okay, I think Buba is Buba.
Yeah, so I'm back. Network, I don't know. Gambia.
I know. I figured Gambia can do call him, but the
I
last
think that's
issue.
why we should get our Starlink now. I'll Starlink someone.
But finally, Buba, before I let you go, it's getting late. I know. The last issue is we're talking about change. I think all of us can agree. Momanyang, we should not continue to dwell in this way, bro. We should not live in this way. There is no reason, and people keep blaming Gambians to say that, oh, our leaders are a reflection of us, Gambians are complicit. And my take to them all the time is this, like, our political class have betrayed Gambians and their trust, and which mostly comes from political class, particularly with people that have power, especially the government of the Gambia, because they have the power to make a difference and they don't do that. So, in terms of change, December elections is nearing, and there's a lot of things happening, and there's a lot of conversations happening, and you are part of a party that is
Mhm.
central to that, United Democratic Party. I want to ask you, in terms of the direction of the competition between what we have right now, which is the government, and the options that are available, and the direction with which they want to take, including a coalition,
Mhm.
what do you think they need to do? Because now we know for a fact, core, they are going for not a party led, but they are going for an individual led, which is also kind of hard because, again, all these individuals come from parties. And I know there's a conversation a lot of people are having as well. But what do you think is necessary for all of them to really come together to have a formidable force, such that, the following that you and I have been talking about for over an hour can actually happen?
Uh, this question, I like when you just when you were talking about it, you went to the point of okay, because they are asking for party led, but
Mhm.
nonetheless, no, sorry, candidate led, but
Yeah.
nonetheless, all the candidates come from parties. You
Yes.
see that little
Yeah.
caveat. You
Yeah.
just basically expose the whole craziness about this idea, right? So at this point, what I can say is, I think it's about time we feel sorry for Gambians. We feel for Gambians and then understand their pain and put aside our egos. Um, Understand that we are going to battle. We are going into a battle, and your best chance of winning, your best generals, your best warriors, the most powerful warrior, powerful regiment. You have battalions, regiments. You have your Navy SEAL. When America is going to capture whatever, like a Bin Laden or somewhere, who did they send?
Navy SEAL.
SEAL, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We have the army. We have everybody.
Yeah.
We have the army. Some people are in the army. They all did is cooking, right? Some people are in the army. Their job is to drive. Some people are in the air force. Their job is to just fill airplanes with fuel. But they're still wearing uniform. They're still soldiers. But when they want to go for Bin Laden or for Maduro, yeah, who did they send? The elites, the top guys. Your So let's Gambia. Let's look at our best. Let's look at our battle-tested ones. Let's look at the ones that have been in the trenches, have the numbers, have the structures, have the chairmans, the MPs, the political clout, the numbers, and accept the numbers, fall behind them, and institute change. Once you, I mean, before doing that, obviously, whatever concerns you have, if you want a position, if you want to take care of a certain part of the government, talk it out.
Mhm.
You are good at justice, this guy is good at commerce, da, da, da. Talk it out and then finish out, finalize whatever position you're gonna give to each other. Obviously you're all gonna have positions. That's how it is. That's how coalitions work. You win, everybody get their spoils of the war, and then you walk. Maybe 2 years down the line you might fall out, but that's every coalition. Nothing stays forever. Coalitions don't last more than 2 3 years anywhere around the world. We accept that fact or we leave it, we let it go. Okay. But your best, your sharpest, your most brutal fighting force is the UDP. You don't want to let that go and then take the Air Force people that are refuelers and the McDonald workers, they are the military, and then let them go and get Bin Laden for you. You never do that. No smart people, no smart entity will do that. So in this case, it's a matter of simple acknowledging that, hey, that's your biggest general, that's your biggest fighting force, that's your kamikaze force, that's your whatever time you want to use it. They are the ones. They've been battle tested. They've been beaten and scarred and everything. They know the terrain. They have the structures. When they say campaigns, they know what they know how to get there. They know how to make things happen. They have the structures. Yeah, follow behind them. This is what happens everywhere around the world. It's called conventional wisdom. Senegal did it multiple times. They, even though it's a bit different, they go to a first round election. Abdou Diouf went to first round, right? Abdou Diouf beat him first round. Second round, the other guys fell behind Abdullah Wad, and he won. He went also with Macky Sall. First round, what happened? Abdullah Wad beat Macky Sall, but didn't get it 50%. It was about to go to second round. They didn't say, "Oh, Maki's a new guy," because Maki was, fairly new at the time. He was fired like not long ago from Abdullah Wad's parliament, government, as prime minister and finance minister, whatever. Right? So there were people that were older than him. The Idris and Sex of the Walls and all these guys, they were older than him. Isundi was more famous than Macky Sall. Yes. Yes, of course. But when they did the numbers, Macky came second. Abdullah came first. So ultimately, when the opposition wanted to change, they didn't want Abdullah to continue because his son was acting up and all that kind of stuff and corruption charges everywhere. They wanted change. So they fell behind the new guy, with the numbers. Yusundur didn't come and say, Yusundur, I'm Yusundur, everybody know me, I'm a household name. No. Yes, but you don't have the numbers. It is a sec. My bottom chest, I've been to, I studied in the UN, I'm a master degree holder, blah, blah, blah. Yes, but they say Macky Sall, number 2. They all fell behind. They didn't negotiate. They didn't go through primaries. They didn't go through, let's party-led, blah. No, they said, Macky, Yaiwaji. The numbers say Yaiwaji. I didn't say it. The people of Senegal said Yaiwaji. They followed behind Macky Sall and they effected their change. They became a minister without a high school diploma. Right? Yusundu didn't have a high school diploma. He became a minister because of that. We also had a minister here, Henry Gomez, who doesn't know anything, and became a minister because of coalition. We got PPP, NCP party. Who was NCP? There's nobody in NCP, but they became minister. PPP became minister. Henry Asad Dure became minister. I mean, Bojang still a state because of coalition. Without coalition, Bojang so wouldn't be anywhere near quadrangle. Look at that now. So same thing happened. Macky Sall became president and everybody there could. 2 years later, he kicked them out. Fine. He also went through the same thing. First election, with Sonko, he beat Sonko. Sonko came third, right? Pastef, 2019. Pastef came third. This was second. Macky Sall Busa. So after the election, what did Macky Sall do? He took Idrissa Seck. I mundiala kodo nyuka da kono krapaj ay palaso de la modoba de la I neutralize ay palaso de la banda. Idrissa Seck became nothing. So you don't even hear his name. He came second in 2019. Today you don't even hear his name anywhere in the conversation because it was neutralized by money. The money, early retirement, and that's it. Sonko became what? Automatically the number 1 opposition. They didn't say he's young guy, he's this and that. No. The other guy, the Tahiru Sar Jojana, Dam Boy Jojana, Deche File Jojana. What did they do? They didn't say, "Oh, man, my Deche File, my Dam Boy, I'm gonna walk." No. They fell behind who? The number 2 guy, the biggest opposition. They let their egos go. You are not more egoistic than Senegalese. Wala nyamate. Senegal, tay bo tala jël. Wala kulbalate de yana dofte. Bari be fanji. Deche File. Be jita. Khalifa Sall Jojana. Before the last part, Benny Bodaje. Barthélemy Dias, on last part, yes, they fell out, but since 2019, it was behind the Sonko. But that was a legitimate one. Nobody negotiated. Nobody, let them conference, you don't talk even living the committee, you discuss, can we lead? No, Sonko mustn't buy. Wow, no, let them. Sonko na raya motana. Remember, I say I can say straight away. That's why it works. Gambia, Kohani. We have to reinvent the wheel. 2016, we faced the same scenario. We reinvented the wheel. We said, no, we have to go some room in Kairaba Avenue, Kairaba Hotel. Yes, UDP, you are the biggest party, yes. For the past 20 years, you are the biggest party, yes. I know it. Me, Toy, I've been getting 3% consistently, fine. But you're 27%, you're 28%. No, fine. Let's go primary. Each party bring what? 70 people. So Henry Gomez with only his wife and his kids in the party, nobody in the party, gets 70 people. PPP, non-existent, 70. NCP, non-existent, 70. And then UDP, 27%, 70 people. So you take a zero non-existent party, you give it the same power as a UDP. Yes, I'm a bunkono, equal Karefai. Karefai, some people couldn't even get like doing 70 something. Among Karefa fire, they got 60 something. Henry Gomez lost 70 something. A bear fine UDP. Because guess what? Ndole more deal. I'm almost dog. This was the secret that happened in that house.
Yeah.
Some of these people they can't even get 70. Ndole more. Well, guess what? That day, Manjale Fisu Kata Karaba Hotel. And I decided to be a baby.
Buba. Buba.
And I hello? Oh,
Yes, I'm seeing you now.
okay, sorry. Let me charge my phone here a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was a scenario. So who had that fit? Kalla ko jaral. A jara dumala ita lo dar wonu. Ko kata kare ba hotel. A jara ndole. This was the reality. So wala nga mol sambaje. Na da kare fay. UDP win the Adambaro. An unknown quantity against Halifa Saleh. But the numbers that Adam is representing is why Adam won.
Mm-hmm.
Same scenario as Senegal. An unknown quantity. I think Jomai Faye. But because of Pastef being next opposition party, well, I winning. Halifa wanted to reinvent the wheel, but conventional wisdom prevailed. So we have faced with the same scenario, same players. Nga yeko kata mitu wala Fatmata Medajana, Esa Bubacarr Sidiqi Jammeh, all these people. I'm like, you guys, yeah.
But
Anyway,
let me
so
ask
we are
you.
faced with the same scenario. I think we nyanta
Yes.
balafala Gambia sign nga new nene. Let's do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nada kenola. Ah, ngatare ngaji be mobile lock try.
And laughing in Kala Walla, Niatara, because one thing I like, and I think even for the most part, and a lot of people have tried to explain it, but I don't think I've ever sat across anybody who has explained it so brilliantly in a way that I think for me, UDP's position is very clear and it makes a lot of sense. Because at the end of the day, again, most places in the world, that's how it happens. And your political capital is your number. If you don't have that, you might as well succumb to becoming something else. But your political capital is a number. And UDP has that. You may not like them, but they have that. But my question really is, Buba, Niatara Atolu, you've made your position abundantly clear. And already that presupposes that if you go into a coalition and you're not leading that coalition because you are the bigger party and you have the numbers, then why are you going there to begin with? Because I also feel like UDP are playing the double way because one Nalmanta imam party coalition kacha. But already you were involved in it. Your candidate did not become the person. It also now brings this whole conversation of Aliyanko at the end of the day because people are already saying that Ngalnako, if another person is selected, UDP are not going to throw their weight behind that candidate. So my question is, how about UDP should have just been other people to UDP instead of, because a coalition presupposes that at the end of the day, any of those parties, any of those individuals could lead the coalition or the partnership or the negotiation. So what's the essence of getting into it when you know if it goes not your way at all to continue? Malam foyo mwela bambuba. Buba, nko ebo jara internet odo boy.
Can you repeat that question again? Iko Gamola.
Yeah, in Mwela, I've missed you for a second. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yes,
in the
no,
event that we
nko.
let's say we like we already made our position clear, and then we are still
Mhm.
attending these meetings, right?
Yes.
So
And in the event that you guys don't end
um,
up, these
in the
people
case that
don't
a
agree.
manta, yeah, no,
Yes.
nyimbe nyalin.
Mhm.
Yeah, like the way they put us in this corner, irrespective of whatever the outcome is, UDP will take some flack.
Yeah.
Um,
You can never win with
we have to
with that.
find a way to.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
no, we cannot. So we
Yeah.
have to be skilled enough to be calm and explain to the Gambian people what coalitions are all about. Because this is a country that has been detached from democracy for 20 years. 10 years is not enough to bring them back to civilization. It's not enough. That's why I always try to use Senegalese analogy, Senegalese example, because I feel like they speak Wolof, we speak Wolof, they speak Mandinka, I speak Mandinka. We are culturally aligned. So I don't have to take an example from America. I usually use Senegal. So there's some level of familiarity that we can say, okay, hey, this is the way it should be. So yes, we're gonna whatever happens, UDP is gonna have some flag. There'll be old wounds that are gonna come up. Oh yeah, defa na ko fi 20 blah blah blah. Defa na Atlanta bu never not mo bañ blah blah blah. You're gonna hear these things. So we have to be prepared. We have to be equipped with information and knowledge, and the um, composure to sit and talk to people and explain to them who is at fault here. We are not trying to play like a blame game, ping pong game, but we need to make, like when I was in iAfrica the other day, I laid out clear examples, clear scenarios. And at the end of the day, it didn't look like I'm attacking anybody. I just laid out facts. And then anybody that looks at the situation, looks at the situation through that prism of facts, you come to the conclusion that yes, Mr. So and so, I think you need to calm down. You really don't have any leverage to stand on here. When I mentioned about no deputy, no councillor, you haven't contested any elections in 5 years. How about all of these factors that we that I put together on the table, and then you still want to be a political party, and you still want to demand respect when people who are earning the respect, earning that currency, fighting for it in the trenches, in the parliamentary elections, the council elections, the by-elections, spending money, spending time, spending resources, energy, accidents happening, people are, all these things happen. You never had any interest in it. So for 5 years, you failed to buy your currency. So if you put your arguments out like that, rational people will come to the conclusion that yes, we are not the ones at fault. We are the ones that are trying to change this country for 5 years, making an effort towards it. And you need to accept that fact, complement our work, and let's come together and achieve what we need to achieve whole. And I think that's what needs to be. And then independent minded people like you also need to play a role here. You can't just sit there, say I'm independent, and then fold your hands. Anybody come and spew their nonsense on you and just agree with it. No, you also need to start asking tough questions and agitating. Hey, man, Bakuma, you did it, but bro, come on. Like the facts are not in line with what you were trying to say. Hey, Mr. Esa Bokarsi or whatever, Farmer Tamba, your idea is contrary to conventional wisdom of coalition building. You have no leverage to stand on. You were sitting here, you left the game for these guys who killed themselves for the past 5 years. The least you could do is respect their numbers and fall behind. Whatever comes out of it, you all have a chance to change this country. You all have your strengths and weaknesses. Play your role. You are good at gender, whatever. This guy is good at petroleum stuff. Come together and fix the country. But for now, you need to calm down. You the independent-minded, media personalities or commentators, also need to start agitating this thing. Don't just sit there and let nonsense come to you, and just for the sake of I'm an independent. No. There's no. We can't outsource this. We all have a role to play. And maybe when I say certain things, because he's UDP. But if you say it, or maybe Barry Jobara or somebody else says it, it becomes like, oh, okay, this is not just political now. This is reality. You can't have this kind of positions and then expect common sense results to come out of this coalition talk. So you guys also have a role to play. We can do our best, but everything that comes out of my mouth is going to be looked at from the prism of, oh, he's a party,
Political lenses.
he's a
Yeah.
UDP guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
even though yes, you still have some independent that will still appreciate what you have to say,
Mhm.
but yeah, independent minds also need to play a role here. Be sort of like a referee, like, hey,
Yeah.
bro, come, Ezra, hey, I got it. Yeah, but Nummel right now, we need you to come on board. Like, put some fire on them, because right now they feel comfortable. Like anybody that's not UDP, they feel like this is my problem with even some of the Gala kids. They think like they have a sort of authority, like a moral authority, like sort of a free pass to say whatever they want. Anytime you challenge them, no, 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 you cannot do that. They don't like challenges. Like I cannot challenge them because I'm UDP. So you sort of independent, you are activist. Your word is word of God, right? Right. So um, so that we need to also break that cycle. Not everything that I say is entirely political. These are
Mhm.
reality. So I think for the media as independent observers, no, your position is untenable. You know, Facts are not supporting it. Just because you're
Yeah.
independent, whether you're not UDP, you're not immune. To making mistakes.
Yeah.
So
And I think it
yeah,
also comes to the level
this is
of
enough for them.
yeah. It also comes to the level of awareness too and knowledge. I feel like for, Molunia, when they make their mind about certain things, it's hard, and so if you're not
Yeah,
interested
yeah,
in
yeah.
good faith learning, then
It's
it's hard because it becomes
yeah,
a
it's
problem.
not a
You
lot
don't
of
yeah,
it's not a lot of independent minded people here. Yeah,
yeah,
everybody have a yeah, more ideology like Yamuta Bamantu. So the middle
yeah.
ground is
They're
there's
so
not a lot of
dogmatic.
middle paths.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not a lot. It's not a lot of
yeah,
stuff in the middle.
yeah. But anyways,
Yeah,
Boo, I
yeah.
think we'll have to leave it here,
So
man. It's been
anyway,
absolutely
but
brilliant
I
chatting with you,
the
Booba.
yeah,
Booba
yeah.
Kamal.
Today was good. No, no. And there's no. You see. I told the whole time. I didn't even talk about my rebel cousins. See, I don't have time. Yeah, I don't get time also. But
Hey, yeah,
unless they come
they
cross our line
registered
when they see me.
next week. Next week is all gonna be done because they registered finally. So I think they're going to enjoy some level of
Yeah, it all their rookies. It all man until we are playing a game on them. Until I register. Because
yeah.
I know what they're gonna do to understand. But I'm using them. I'm agitated like I'm military by force because I want them to come. I need them for someday. They are called like a useful fool. I have a need for them, and they're gonna play the role. But I'll make some they play the role. They'll think they're winning, but they're helping me. They wouldn't know. I will find them. I'll agitate them. I'll push them, and they'll play the role for me. I
What
don't. They are
role is
rookies.
that?
Man, understand? Don't
What
be
what
man.
role is that?
From
Is
me,
that
man,
security?
down
Is
there.
it a is it a
I can
mysterious
manipulate
role?
them politically very easily. Huh?
Is it a mysterious role? What role do you have for that?
Don't follow. Belajar, ya dinu wala emang fengke bagi.
Yeah,
Ibulay kon. Ndela fanya la fielo by force.
yeah.
No, they have a
Anyway,
specific role.
yeah,
They have
they
a
do.
special role to play for me, and they will play because I'm not going to coalition with them. It will angel.
Mhm.
We are
Ha.
not. We are not entering any coalition with Taliban and the crew. So they have a role to play. Don't worry. You'll see the role. By August, you'll see it. I'll explain it to you.
Listen, you didn't see a world where you guys
August,
can go into a
September.
coalition. I think you guys would win. You both UDP
Nah,
and
nah.
Taliban Suda. I think that's a win,
I
bro.
don't need them. I don't need them. I need them somewhere else than me, around me. Huh?
No, I think you guys would win if you come together. I think Gambians would like that.
Am I ready?
I think Gambians would really like that. UDP and UMC coming together.
No, 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 no. You don't understand. I don't need them around. No, I don't need them close to me. You need them somewhere. There's a role for them. Don't worry.
Okay,
We'll discuss around August, September. We'll discuss that.
we'll sit down. Okay, no worries,
This
Buba.
is not the
Thank you
right
so
time. I'll
much.
mal ke so bende follow.
Yeah.
Yala kura spend follow. Yala motorcycle spend follow.
Ha.
Kana worry.
Okay, Buba, we'll have to leave it
Yeah.
here then. I'll let you go. Thank you so much for coming again, man. I really appreciate it. You're
Leo,
probably content and everybody.
I couldn't see the Facebook. Okay, I couldn't see the Facebook part of it. Hopefully, they are behaving in the comment sections. Nobody
Oh,
is
they're
insulting
behaving.
you.
Yes, no, they're behaving. Today, I think you did a lot of teaching, so people appreciate that. So thank you very much. So there is no controversy. There's nothing clipping today.
I
No
couldn't see
clip.
any
No
of their
clipping.
Congo today.
No clipping today. No problem.
No, because there's no clip word here. Jamo. Guys, this one is not clip word.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. But this is good. I think we need this, Buba. So thank you very much once again.
Let, let, let me comment in my juru. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, niye muso so amanta alese ke amalese ya dila ba asumi ndi bari muso te bulo ko ne yalo. So
Kulu bali ya. You never see me again. See you. Bye bye.
bye bye. Have a
Never
good
get
night.
Floyd.